Hi you guys, I am back to do a tutorial for another eyeshadow look, and let me get adjusted here. And I was going to use these new brushes that I got off of Amazon. I do bridal makeup and wedding and just makeup in general on the side for people. It's just something that I really enjoy doing and I really like to do. So I find myself going through my eyeshadow brushes like crazy, having to wash them all the time. I do spot clean them when I'm going through a bunch of clients, but I was just thinking it'd be so much nicer to just have enough makeup brushes to not have to do that all the time. So I did a little bit of searching on Amazon, and I found some brushes that had a lot of good reviews, and it came in like a set. So here is the first set that I found. This brand is called MSQ. They are synthetic brushes, and first off, let me tell you, I paid like $9 for this, okay? It was Amazon Prime. You get what you pay for. I'm fully aware of that, and I have yet to use these, so I don't really know how they work, but I figure if you are just kind of learning how to do your eyeshadow or venturing into the makeup brush world, which I highly recommend using actual brushes and not the ones that they give you in the palettes at drugstores and stuff like that. Invest in some brushes. I mean, this isn't even really investing. These are pretty cheap and they look like good quality brushes. Like, I personally use Morphe brushes, and I have a few Sigma brushes as well, and I use Real Techniques. So those are the ones that I keep in my kit for clients, and I ordered this lot of brushes here from Amazon. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 12 brushes in here for $9. They look pretty good. They feel really good too. So I'm like actually really impressed. I was really excited for the mailman to come today. So I mean, first off, like, some of these blending brushes are just like so good. There's a couple in here that I don't know if I would like use all of the time, but I mean, for the most part, these are great brushes to have to start off with. Great blending brushes. They look like, anyways. I'm going to do that tutorial here soon. Then I also ordered, this is a 20-piece set. It's from the same brand, MSQ. Had really good ratings on Amazon, and they just look and feel great. They're so soft. I'm impressed, actually. So I'm excited to use these and test them out and see how they go. I did spot clean them a little bit before using them, so I'm gonna kind of go, I don't know if I'll go back and forth, because these, like the rose gold ones, they're kind of the same as these that I ordered. These just have like a longer handle, and there's just a little bit more to choose from. So I think I'll stick with these for the tutorial, because I feel like this is a good lot of brushes to have to start out with if you want to order any. So I already did a video on how I did like my full face makeup. I did my foundation, bronzer, blush, concealer, highlight, and brows. Got all that done. So next I'm going to go through and do a quick tutorial for eye makeup, and I was trying to figure out if I wanted to use my Tartelette palette. Ignore it. I've stepped on this, so ignore how cracked it is. But here's the shades in that. It's just so pretty. I love this palette. Depending on doing that one, or debating on doing that one, or the Milani Most Loved Mattes. I did kind of a brown smoky eye the other day, and with a little bit of an orangey tone. So I think I'm gonna go into the Tarte palette. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so get my brushes here ready. First thing that I'm gonna do is pick a kind of fluffier brush out of all of these to put on the all over color. And these aren't numbered or anything like that, so I won't be able to really tell you which number I'm using or anything. But I'm using they're all kind of fluffy blending brushes actually. But I'm using one about this size, and I'm going to go into Flower Child on the palette. You can see I've hit pan here. This is just a good transition shade. And if you don't know what a transition shade is, that is the shade that you put down so everything else kind of blends seamlessly and transitions well from color to color. The transition shade, it can go all over your lid, just in the crease, but I kind of do it everywhere. So I usually start out in my crease. Okay, first off, these are soft. The brushes feel soft. Just gonna take that color all over the lid, even up to the brow bone. Just a good neutral color. All over the lid and up a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna try and use a lot of these brushes in here if I can. Okay, then I'm gonna use a darker shade and go into my crease. I'm going to use Jet Setter, which is this chocolate brown there. As you can see, I use that a lot too. Okay, and so for that, I am going right in the crease with my eyes open. This brush is working really well too. So far, I give them like a 9 out of 10. Just working that brown shade in. And the other side. Again, eyes open. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in, there's a big brush in here, kind of that size, and there's no shadow on this or anything, so I'm just gonna go back in my crease and blend that. Both sides, just so there's not any harsh edges. It's getting kind of dark outside, so I'm sorry about the lighting. Okay, trying to figure out which one I want to use next. Let's do, all right, there's a brush in here, kind of looks like this. It's kind of like a large pencil brush, if that makes sense. And I'm going to go into a Rebel, which is kind of a light brick shade. And what I'm going to do is take that into my outer V. So I'm going to, I'll get up close here. So I'm going to start kind of on the bottom by my lash line. And blend it up a little bit with my eyes open. My eyes are hooded, so that this hangs down a lot, so you can't see my eyeshadow. So I like to leave my eyes open to give me a good guide as to where I need to place the shadow. And doing eyeshadow like this is just kind of my go-to. I don't normally do color all over the lid. That's just my personal preference. You can do what you want. Going back in with one of the brushes I used before to just blend that out. It keeps my eyes looking fresh and open, and I just think it's a classy look. Easy, smoky eye. And I feel like a lot of my clients like that look as well. Bring it a little bit further. And up into the crease. Once I don't have a lot of color on the brush anymore, that's whenever I'll start to drag it towards the center to get a little definition. Taking another brush I used before to just blend it out. Just gonna kind of build it up a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna go to the other eye and try and make this not a super long video. again in the outer V, up a little bit towards the crease. Take that other brush, blending it out. These are really good blending brushes. I'm like really impressed. It's like one Morphe brush, depending on what kind of blending brush you get, will cost you like $8 or $10. So this is a pretty good deal. If I know how to do it, I'll link the brushes in the bottom of this video. And just blend it out. Make sure it's kind of even. Okay, so I kind of have all that darkness towards the outside of the eye, and then I'm gonna go in with this shade called Leader, and let me pick a brush. Sorry, so hard to pick. Okay, so here's one that looks kind of like this, but kind of same one that I used for the outer corner. It's just a little more of a dome. So going into Leader, which is this, I don't know how to describe the color. It's just really pretty. So we're gonna use it. So going into the V again. So the previous shade I took kind of all up in the outer V. This I'm gonna kind of just keep the darkness here on the corner. So I'm just gonna kind of pack that where I want it. And then taking one of those other brushes again, and I'm going to blend that. You can kind of see. And we're staying away from like this part of the lid to kind of keep it open. Okay. Taking Leader again. I had my phone plugged in, but it said it was dying. I don't know what's up with that. Again, I'm kind of just packing that darker color on. Not really blending just yet. Then take a blending brush and buff it out. Kind of up into the crease, blend into the outer V. Now if you're really kind of messy with your eyeshadow, which I am messy all the time, I usually do my eyeshadow before I do like my foundation, and what I'll do with that is I'll put tape down and kind of match the tape up with my lower lash line, and that tape is just a good barrier to have to do your eyeshadow to kind of get that winged out look without using eyeliner. I don't like to use eyeliner a lot of the time. It's very time consuming. I'm not the best at it yet. I'm learning, but I find it's easy to get that same shape just using tape. Shape with tape. These are blending really good. Again, I'm just kind of really impressed with these brushes. But we'll see how they do going through like an actual washing, not just a spot clean. But they are synthetic, so I expect them to hold their shape pretty well. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with like the giant brush and go back into Flower Child. And I feel like I kind of got messy here on the outside, so I'm gonna take that lighter shade and go over that area and just blend it in, blend inwards. And what I'll probably do is, since I am a little messy out here, is get my concealer and kind of carve that out to clean it up a little bit. That is also another trick that you can do as well. Okay, so that is done. Next what I'm going to do is take a flat shadow brush, and I'm going to take the shade Sweetheart. It's kind of a light pink, and I'm just going to try and pack that color onto that flat brush, and this is going to go on the lid. So I'm going to start here in the inner corner, and kind of press that on there. Then get a blending brush we've used already with no shadow on it, and kind of blend the dark into that lighter shade. I'm gonna go back over this real quick. I feel like I blended that out very well. So we got like a pinky peachy eye look going on here. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is take a smaller brush, which probably there's a flat one, and I'm gonna take the shade Funny Girl, and that's gonna go on the like inner corner. Just brighten it up a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna go along the bottom lash line. I'm gonna kind of wipe off the brush that I used. I wish there was a smaller pencil brush. You know what? I'm gonna go into my other brushes over here because they have smaller pencil brushes. Actually, I'm just going to take the one that I had the shade Leader on earlier. I blended that off. And I'm going to go back into Jet Setter. And that is going on my lower lash line. And again, with the eyeshadow, I'm going to kind of connect it to the top. And do the other side. Then I pulled this from the other set of brushes that I bought, and I'm going to go into Leader again with that one. This I am just going kind of straight into the palette, and I'm taking that along my lower lash line, like right up against it. Staying more so on the outer part of the eye. Just to give a little definition to the lash line. Alright, then I'm going to take that same brush that I had Jet Setter on and to kind of buff the shadow off, and then blend that together. Okay, and then I'm going to use just a random brush that I have in here that I used earlier and kind of wipe away the fallout from that. I am going to clean up a little bit of that shadow with my concealer. And I'm going to take Tarte Shape Tape in light neutral. I'm just going to put some of that on the back of my hand real quick and put a little bit of that onto this brush, and I'm going to kind of go along and carve out the shadow. Kind of see how I'm dragging that along there. And then just kind of blend that with my finger. So do you see how it gave that sharp line? So if you mess up, you can fix it with concealer. I mess up all the time. I'm not perfect. Same thing on the other side. with your finger. Ta-da. Done with that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is take a liner brush and go into Activist right here. And I'm just gonna kind of, the flat liner brush kind of looks like that. I'm just gonna kind of go along the top lash line and press it up against it, my top lash line. So it kind of looks like I'm wearing eyeliner, but I'm not. And then taking another brush, a smaller blending brush, and just kind of smoking that out. Boom. Okay, then we're gonna highlight the brow bone with the shade here, Charmer. Kind of a white shade. Putting that on a flat brush and just going along the top here. It's pretty light, it doesn't really do a lot, but it'll give some definition underneath the brow. Okay, and then going to, oh, here's my curler. Mascara. Usually hold for 3 seconds, go at the base of the lashes, the middle of the lash, and then the end of the lash. Need to learn how to position my head. Okay. Then mascara. As always, better than sex. My mama blessed me with some good lashes, and this just makes them look 10 times, 100 times better. Already, like, it just makes the look. A little bit on the lower lash line as well. I always do this. I look down and then I get mascara along the top because I don't let it dry. I just get too antsy, so excited. I usually do a couple coats of this, like I pile it on. But you don't want it to look clumpy and gross, and that's one thing about this is it does not clump. Like you can put as many coats on as you want and you're gonna still have your individual lashes, but they are just, it looks so much better. I just did it again. When will I learn? When will I learn? I'll have to take concealer over that. No worries. It's fixed. Okay. So that is just a quick eye look to do using the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I love this palette. It's one of my faves. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I will remember to link these rose gold MSQ brushes down below. I really was happy with how they blended everything out. I wish there was a smaller pencil brush in here. That's the only thing. I think this one here is the kind of the smallest one that they have. Just to have a more precise pencil brush would have been nice. But other than that, if you are looking for a good set of brushes, Amazon, MSQ brushes, prime shipping. All right. I will try and get in a little better lighting. I'm sorry I get so shaky when I take this off here. I'll try and keep it nice and still. Usually if I back away from the window, it looks a little bit better. I don't know why, but you can see where we cleaned up with the concealer. I have a little bit of that mascara on the top of my eyelid, but overall I think it turned out really well. So if you want the details for my foundation and face makeup, that is on another video that I posted under foundation natural makeup look. And then hope you guys enjoyed this eyeshadow tutorial. See you next time.